Whereas if you told me at 25, like, okay, if you can win Mr. Olympia and you're going to limit yourself to live to 40, I probably would have made the decision to win the Olympia and decide to you know, if I had the risk of, you know, dying at 40 years old, I would.
Yeah, like the current state of bodybuilding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the health issue. Let's talk about that a little bit. You know, we hear about, like, you know, some of the stuff. Do you think guys nowadays, right, are pushing the limit too much in comparison to your time, or what is your take on the whole health issues in bodybuilding?
I don't think it's really changed. I think everyone over the years has, you know, pushed the limits of what their physical makeup is. And I think that, you know, you hear about the food amounts or the drugs, or, you know, you're trying to develop a body. I think guys tend to overeat more. And I think that's the most dangerous thing, honestly, because that amount of protein, you know, the constant training, you know, the recovery process. I mean, it starts to wear, and the guys are getting older that are competing. That's the difference. I think as they continue to beat down their bodies, as they get into their 30s and 40s, I mean, that's when you start, you know, I'm looking at that as a health aspect. I mean, I retired at 40. Could I have kept going? Yes. But for me, it was like, okay, I achieved great success in my 30s, you know, 20s also, but I was able to carry the Olympia title through my 30s. And for me, I never thought about, okay, if I lost this thing, where do I go? Like, it's only downward from there, right? Unless I was able to regain it back, which history kind of tells, you know, a guy at 40 years old isn't necessarily going to come back and win the Mr. Olympia title against guys in their 30s, especially someone that had better genetics than me. So I think that everyone has a certain genetic makeup, meaning they're destined for, you know, body issues like hip issues, heart problems, you know, cancers, whatever it is. I think some guys abuse drugs, just like anyone, as far as even the recreational side, or smoking cigarettes, alcohol. We've seen it all. But to be honest, I mean, the guys that reach that elite level, especially at the Olympia level, are there for a reason. With or without drugs, they would still be somewhat more genetically inclined to do better. And I think that there's a lot of misconception with the top guys using more stuff or doing more damage to their bodies than the guys that are lower level. I think the training and, like I said, the nutrition have a lot to do with the time you actually can be on top and be able to remain healthy. And I say that not to sit here and point at myself and say, hey, I'm a model of what, you know what, I was a volume trainer. I never trained crazy heavy. I ate very, very well. I worked with a nutritionist since 18 years old, and I never was a big protein eater. I was more of a carbohydrate eater. And I think that had a lot to do with why now at 45, I can continue to train with zero joint pain. My body feels great, and I'm still eating on a very clean diet. Whereas if you told me at 25, like, okay, if you can win Mr. Olympia and you're going to limit yourself to live to 40, I probably would have made the decision to win the Olympia and decide to you know, if I had the risk of, you know, dying at 40 years old, I would have said, okay, I'll take the Olympia title. But that mentality changes as you get older. You want to live longer, right? And I think a lot of athletes would say the same thing, or maybe they'd be afraid to say that. But I can tell you my mindset was I wanted to be the champion so bad I was willing to give up, you know, half my life to do that.